Matt Bernier with the DRFBets Race of the Day for Sunday, May the 19th. Race number 8 out at the Great Race Place, Santa Anita Park. The Grade 3 Desert Stormer, fillies and mares going 6 furlongs on the main track. Before we dive into the field, head on over to bets.drf.com, especially if you are a Race of the Day viewer. We've got a great deal for you. $7 to win. If your horse runs second or third, you'll get your $7 win bet back. All the details, bets.drf.com. Let's take a look at the field of 5. It's a short field here, going the 6 furlong distance in the Desert Stormer, but I think it's an interesting race. We'll dive into that more in depth. I'd encourage you to head on over to the Race of the Day page as well, over on drf.com, where you can download free formulator past performances and handicap along as I go through the field in post position order. We begin with the number 1, Selcourt, 1 of 2. Entered for John Sadler. Selcourt early in 2018 was the bee's knees. She was in awesome form, raging form. She had rattled off 3 consecutive stakes wins, 2 of them of the graded variety, and then all of a sudden she was gone. And unfortunately, she just has not been able to get back to her best form since returning. The Breeders' Cup, I'm not going to hold that against her, but her 3 subsequent starts, they haven't been bad, but they haven't been great. Now, admittedly, she's been keeping good company. You see the names like Secret Spice and Marley's Freedom, Paradise Woods, and that most recent run, the Beholder Mile, 2 turns, not what she wants to do. It gets back to probably a more advantageous situation. She's 2 for 2 lifetime at this 3/4 distance, but I think it's safe to say there's real concern about whether or not she is what she once was, and in the form that she is in, I don't know that she has any real edge on this field. Her running style is also one that I think we need to explore and take a look at. Let's look at the Timeform US Pace Projector, because I know the folks at Timeform have the number 4 Danuska's My Girl out on the lead by herself, and I understand. Look, this is a filly that does her running out there on the front winging it, but I have a hard time imagining Joe Talamo breaking from the inside on Selcourt, just relinquishing the lead and being content to sit off. Selcourt's at her best when she's out there cutting out the fractions. I have a sneaky feeling this pace could end up being a little bit more heated on the front than perhaps Timeform does. It's the beautiful thing about the pace projector. You have to handicap it as well. It's a useful tool, but you don't always have to agree with it. I think this pace could be a little bit more on the swift side than maybe Timeform thinks. The 2 is the other John Sadler trainee. That's Uvetzi. She goes out. Drayden Van Dyke has the ride. We haven't seen this mare since October of last year, where she ran the LA Woman. Forwardly placed, hot pace, paid the price, up the track, nowhere. 2 starts back, though, the Rancho Bernardo, that was a win down at Del Mar, and she defeated Anonymity. Anonymity, say what you will, she came back and earned a 91 buyer, finishing 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint in November at Churchill. So Uvetzi's interesting to me because she has the ability, she's shown anyway in the past, to sit off of a target. And if you think that Danuska's My Girl is going to go, and if you think that Selcourt's going to go, perhaps Uvetzi is the one that takes that sort of catbird seat in behind those 2. Maybe they duel each other into submission. Here comes Uvetzi. She gets first run on the closers. The 3 is Smiling Tigress. If you want a horse coming from way off of it because you think this could be a complete pace meltdown, Smiling Tigress would be your filly. My concern with Smiling Tigress is, simply put, career best buyer speed figure of 80, not nearly fast enough to be viewed as a serious win threat in this race. But if you are so inclined to be playing some of the other exotics and you need a horse underneath at a better price, perhaps Smiling Tigress is that one. The 4 is Danuska's My Girl, and she is the winner of the Grade 3 Las Flores most recently on April the 7th. That was her first time against Graded Stakes Company. 95 buyer speed figure and a raw 117 Timeform US rating that day. Took the field in gate-to-wire fashion. All 4 of her lifetime victories from 13 lifetime starts have come in gate-to-wire fashion. You have to assume that Giovanni Franco is going to be aggressive with her and send her out of there. I brought up my concerns about a potential pace duel. If that's not enough for you, maybe this formulator fact. Not a positive one for Jerry Hollendorfer. Past 2 years, dirt winner last out, second after the layoff in sprint races. 1 for 13, 5 in the money with a 23-cent ROI. Danuska's My Girl deserves to warrant consideration and probably deserves to be the favorite. I just don't know. And by the way, that 95, far and away the fastest race of her career. I want her to prove to me that she can deal with other heat and be able to replicate that kind of effort. And we get to the outside horse, and this is a good time for me to reveal the selection here. I'm going to go with the number 5, Show It and Mow It, to win this year's Desert Stormer. I understand she's not necessarily one of the fastest horses in this race. She's only got a buyer speed figure career best of 88 coming into this spot. But the Las Flores, I thought she ran respectably. It wasn't a great effort, but ran well enough considering Danuska's My Girl wired the field and emboldened. I know she came from way out of it, but she came back and, okay, maybe not a great effort. And the Humanitas staff only earned an 81 buyer. And I guess that is a little bit of a concern about the Las Flores if you're looking at it as a whole. The horses that have exited that race, they haven't really come back to flatter the form of it. But my logic with Show It and Mow It is, if there's ever going to be an instance where she can run one of her best races against open company, because admittedly she's been best against Cowbreds throughout her career, but if there's ever an instance where she'll show her best, I think it's probably going to be in a spot like this where you take a look at it. If the pace does materialize the way that I think it might, Show It and Mow It could theoretically sit sort of in that second flight, maybe just off of Uvetzi, and maybe the two of them can go on it, and that's how I'm viewing this race. I wonder if Selcourt and Danuska's My Girl duel one another into submission. Uvetzi and Show It and Mow It, maybe they're the ones that can get this sort of run and take advantage. And my thought is Uvetzi off the layoff, maybe she's going to need one. Show It and Mow It, therefore, I'm the one. That's how I end up looking at this race. I end up landing on her, thinking that maybe she has the recency, and maybe she's going to be the one that can take advantage of the potential pace situation. 5-2. For me in the 8th race at Santa Anita on Sunday, the DRFBets Race of the Day, the Grade 3 Desert Storm. Are you playing this race? Any other race, for that matter. You should be playing with DRFBets. But if you are a Race of the Day viewer, take advantage of this deal. Bet $7 to win on any horse in the Race of the Day for the month of May. If your horse runs second or third, you get your money back. All the details, bets.drf.com is where you need to go. Schedule a post time for the 8th race at the Great Race Place on Sunday afternoon, 4:30 Pacific. Good luck.